metropolitan Los Angeles. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Chargers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. To throw again on second down. Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end Kmet. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure they didn't give him much run after catch.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 18 carries, 58 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Now, after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. 4 yards remain for second down. On the counter, Hunt uses the stiff arm. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Open man right side is Ingram. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. This defense for the Bears, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
2nd and 6. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Javon Kinlaw forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Ingram. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 67 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Now, despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. He's going up top for Taylor. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Chicago. Jonathan Taylor, 81 yards. And the Bears have taken the lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Yeah, the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Evan Ingram works his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let this fly deep for Quinn. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there for L.A. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
And the final readout on next-gen stats, remarkable. That ball traveling close to 80 yards in the air. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. 2nd and 2, 1st down marker at the 8.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
A carry here for Hunt. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
First and goal at the 5-yard.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right...
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces, because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team, and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
A give for Taylor running right side. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Here's Fields. Finding his target, it's Ward. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the handoff, Taylor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
Now a handoff. Hunt's going to run left. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter play. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. 2nd and 11. This is Hunt on the draw play. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Two running plays, each lose a yard. They'll need to do much better now on 3rd and 12. They'll look to throw here. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. Now, this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. To the right side, this is Taylor. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Now a give to Taylor. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle it for just a short gain.
Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. Here's Jack Fox now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. From the gun, here's Fields. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at third down and long. Third and long. It's Fields. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing right on his own 5-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. Second down at 5. They'll run with Hunt. Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Chargers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
But they really need to get something going, didn't they? They punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. 7 yards the pickup there. Working with a 2nd and 3. Now it's Hunt. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. The Chargers on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this is caught inside the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A big gain that time for the Chargers.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
Pollard. And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Well, wherever he is on the field, he is certainly slippery with a football in his hands, and he proved it right there.
And normally moves like that aren't supposed to work this deep in the red zone because there's not enough space. Normally way more effective when you're working out in the open field. But here, incredible shiftiness, excellent contact balance, and he works his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Bears offense ready to get going again.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And this will be a Bears first down as he gets this up past the 30.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, over for one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Well, Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They called out a punt of 38 yards officially. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people...
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead, not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2nd and 3. Got a man, that's Quinn. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Back to throw now on first down. He sets to fire deep. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He's going to go up top again. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Quinn, able to connect. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 38-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Perez. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Blankenship's kick is good. So 3 points on the board. As easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
We got this.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started up at Lambeau. Denver in town to take on Green Bay. And it's the Packers who are out in front in the 2nd quarter. Aaron Jones with 2 touchdown runs. From there, we head east to check on the Bills at home in Buffalo. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Devon's.
You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. So here are the Chargers to take over. They were losers to Kansas City a week ago, but they are out in front right now. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run with Hunt. 67 yards rushing for him now to this point. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll run again with Hunt. Shoves him aside. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's Hunt. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. This is Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Back to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Perez. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5. They'll set up to throw. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you?
He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. Nifty move. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there on the a catch and run.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting it back on the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup but ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now a dump off here complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On is the Chargers punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now, this one complete downfield on the left side. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Back to throw, Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing again is Fields. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Carl Lawson racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. A pass there over the middle to start things out, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold it to a gain of a couple.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field.
More from L.A. in a moment.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. They'll look to throw.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down. And here now the punter, Fox, as he sends this one away.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now a second down and 6. Here's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. Room here to run. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney.
78 yards. And the Bears draw a bit closer.
Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch.
And I think this is what the early proponents of the forward pass were thinking about. Get it to a receiver, and have him do some work afterwards in order to create the big play we just saw there.
And the next-gen stats show us the tale of how much yardage he was able to tack on after the catch. They'll look to throw. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down. On second down, right back to Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 7.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. He juked him. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Chicago offense set to get started. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. From the 41, Fields completes a Mooney on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. 6 yards left on 2nd down. Here's Fields. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Fields. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. From the gun, it's Taylor. And a short gain down to about the 33. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Fields now to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. From the gun on third down, Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
He'll let this fly deep for Quinn. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are right back in this football game. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Now Fields. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be third down. Now it's Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On first down, Fields. He'll check this one down to Taylor. 3 yards the gain there, second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Again, Fields. He's going to look deep here for Ward. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. 7 yards, the pickup there. 3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3. At the 38.
They'll drop to throw. It's brought in by Harris.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now a give here to Pollard. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
The tackle made at the 47-yard line. A gain of 4.
Now back to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Perez. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll set up to throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Javon Kinlaw able to record his 5th sack of the season. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down, so you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
On 1st down, it's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields fighting through. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Chargers ready to take over. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
A first down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. And they'll indeed take a knee. 2nd and 11 now. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Chargers, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1.